Welcome to the World Indices Speed webinar for Monday, the 1st of June 2015, new line. The Australian market often has a habit of going in the wrong direction at the right time, full stop, new line. That's correct, John. I do have indices. The World Indices starts now, and then it continues straight on into the ASX webinar, so it's the same thing. And I've duplicated it exactly. The links there because I'm sure some people will think, oh, I don't register for the World Indices. And so if I just did one link, they'll probably, at the moment, not understand that. Some people only want to see the ASX, so we're giving them the option of coming in later. That's why I've duplicated it. Makes my life a little bit harder, but might make theirs a little bit easier. And therefore make them not send me emails going, I can't get in. Dow Jones Transportation Average, new line. The Dow Transports has ostensibly been going down for the last 6 months. Full stop, new line. We finished the end of the month on Friday, full stop, new line. That would set our sights for 7,263 in a normal retracement, full stop, new line. Volume is reasonably strong to the downside, and that would lead us to conclude the US equities market is not as strong as most people would have us like, full stop, new line. Dow Jones Industrial Average, new line. The Dow Jones fell out of its B-wave triangle, in my opinion, full stop, new line. Didn't really kick on hard to the downside, but at least it finished badly for the week, full stop, new line. This is the weekly chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. In a normal market, when you see this sort of behavior, 1, 2, 3 drives to a top, you expect a correction back down to 17,397, full stop, new line. You will notice that there is a very low base ADX. And what this means is that it's possible that we should get some big move from here, full stop, new line. Volume was a little bit higher to the downside than last time, so we are on a little bit of a bear bias, full stop, new line. S&P 500 cash index, new line. The S&P 500 cash index is more in a triangle still, full stop, new line. Now what that means is I'd like to see it break below 2100 to get too bearish, full stop, new line. There is a drift to the downside coming in. It's not yet a trend, but certainly below 2100 we'd be looking for 2075, 2040 and 2012, full stop, new line. It's early days yet, the swing is down, and if it broke through 2122 I'd turn bullish, full stop, new line. Remember, the adage sell in May, go away does not mean it falls in May. It means sell in May, full stop, new line. And then come back a little bit later on, full stop, new line. What I do know is that if I sell something in the US equities markets, I am often making money, whereas if I buy something at the moment, it is not making money easily, full stop, new line. So selling rallies is the way to go in the US equities markets right now, full stop, new line. NASDAQ, new line. Again, we see a retest of the high, but we don't see a breakdown. Similar to the S&P. If it does, it's now in the middle of the megaphone pattern, so it probably comes back down to 44.67 or 44.48, full stop, new line. Volatility index, the VIX, new line. The VIX has held up remarkably well. It hasn't popped its top. It would be nice for it to get above 14.5 and then run towards 16.93. If you are buying, this stop should be below 12.5, full stop, new line. TBT.ETF, new line. It looks like we were got on our stop. No, we were not got on our stop, and it's actually provided a little bit of a wedge, so we can buy more on a break above $46.89, $46.89, with a stop loss below $45.59. Looks like I already preempted myself last time. We see here, I had 47.30 up there, but this one is 46.59, and then we'll lift stop to $46 if that is triggered. So we're still short. Stop is there on the E-mini target there. We can drop that stop to 21.22. If you are trading around it, buying dips as it rallies, or selling rallies and buying back on the dips, then it's probably okay to do. But at one point it will break and cause us some dramas. Notice the TBT has done the 38.2. GDX.ETF, new line. A bit of a rally. Volume's not yet conclusive. A break below $19, and actually the volume is not that good. Break down below $19 would be sell worthy with a stop above $20, full stop, new line. E-mini S&P special request, 60-minute chart, full stop, new line. On the E-mini, what we see is a little bit of a triangle. It has come back up to the retracement area at 21.15. I would say that it's still trending to the downside, and a break of 21.03 is a shortable offence with a target at 20.95 and stop loss above 21.16, full stop, new line. DRYS.ETF, no reason to get interested, full stop, new line. NIB.ETF, new line. Still looking to buy down towards $39.32 or $39.67, full stop, new line. German DAX, new line. Greece was the word on Friday night. They have another debt to repay. I don't know how they came up with 780 million euros, but they did. Fell out of somebody's truck, I guess, last week or the week before, full stop, new line. At this point, we don't have enough knowledge of what the German DAX has done, but I think it came off a little bit. We can see that the weekly chart really didn't have the best week so far, full stop, new line, and probably deserves a trip down to 10,813, full stop, new line. DJ Euro Stocks 50, new line. Still a bit stronger than the German DAX. I guess you get worried about it below 33.93, full stop, new line. UK FTSE, new line. On the UK FTSE, it's just been flatlining for all of that time. I guess if it closed above 70.70, then you would be excited for higher levels. And if it wanted to droop down, it could go down to 66.36, full stop, new line. After all, its currency has performed better, which tends to degrade what happens in the equities. Full stop, new line. At present on the daily charts, you can see that maybe it's okay to buy on a sign of strength today on a break below 6,900, or maybe it's even better to be just thoroughly confused and stay away from it. Full stop your line. Italian MIB, new line. Like the Euro stocks, it's still a bit stronger than the German DAX, so it may have one more flurry higher. Your stop loss would be at 22,968 if you are long. Full stop your line. Hong Kong Hang Seng, new line. Not the best week for the Hang Seng, but certainly was probably better for the Hang Seng than it was for the Chinese market. Full stop your line. In theory, if it wants to fall a bit further, you could think about 25,559 or as deep as 24,000. Full stop your line. Does have seem to have some sort of failed fifth behavior. Full stop your line. Shanghai Composite Index, new line. We are using this in replacement of the Shanghai A shares, which does not seem to give us data today. Full stop your line. Shanghai A shares index, new line. It did come down to the old top. It didn't close below it. It certainly scurried down below it for a little while. The fact that it got into here, I would suspect that in a normal market, it will churn sideways for a while. Full stop new line. The bargain hunters came in. The bargain hunters came in, and that's all we needed to think about. Full stop new line. Japanese Nikkei, new line. This is on bear pause warnings right now. It does have a struggle street pattern. The US dollar yen is on bear pause warnings. This is one that could probably pull back down to 20,220 after having a nice run up. Full stop your line. So if you feel like shorting it short term, that's okay. Full stop your line. Stop would need to be above 20,707. Full stop your line. Australian share price index futures, new line. The smarties thought that they would try and drive this through the 5800 area resistance, and it did not work. Full stop, new line. Probably more disappointed that the Americans didn't go on with the job. They're probably a little bit confused as to why the Americans are not a lot higher. Full stop, new line. And today we'll sort out whether the people who were buying banks yesterday were correct or incorrect. Full stop, new line. We have bullhorns warnings for 424 US optionable stocks. And we have bear pause warnings for 259 US optionable stocks on topics and the Nikkei. Marking is asking, do we have ABC? Well, I'd say this would be the end of the ABC rally. I can't see why that would be the end. It might be a B, it might be a 2, it might be all sorts of things, but all I know is here is ABC if it breaks down below 57.37, mark on the spine. Okay, now I can just keep on going, can't I? This is fabulous. How good is this? This is just much more normal. What I have to do though is I have to slice out of here and just quickly go and do some chopping up for the recording. So if you bear with me just for 1 second. Do some chopping up for the recording. So if you bear with me just for 1 second. Welcome to the ASX Speed webinar for Monday, 1st of June 2015. We have no bullhorns this week for Australian shares. Full stop, new line. We do have, however, have bear pause warnings in the following Australian shares, new line. AMC.ASX, new line. CSL.ASX, new line. JHX.ASX, new line. ORI.ASX, new line. TAH.ASX, new line. WPL.ASX, new line. ORI.ASX, new line. It is up the top of a negative cloud, and if it broke down below $21, it would start to be a little bit destructive. Actually, below $20.82, full stop, new line. Now, the US market did not have a great night for last night, and if the Australians were hoping the US would take it with them after they decided to buy the banks, then it's probably not happening, full stop, new line. The banks will get a little bit of a positive benefit from US longer term interest rates not going down and not going up, but maybe going down a little bit at the moment. And that will impact the Australian index. It certainly drove it higher on Friday, full stop, new line. There was a lot of bank buying. There was some reasonably good volume, but I think they may have taken it too far, too fast, and the wrong way, full stop, new line. XAO.ASX, all ordinaries, new line. We see the All Ordinaries touching 5,800, and it should have broken. Should it break down below 5,700, that would be a negative development, and it would upset a few apple carts. Full stop, new line. If it gets above 5,800 and closes above there, then let's get excited for 6,000. Full stop, new line. At the moment, I can't see much out of it. It's not reached any real extreme points. Full stop, new line. The current rally looks corrective to me. Full stop, new line. XJO.ASX, new line. This is confirming my feeling. What you can see is it couldn't get above the kitchen line, which needs to get above 57.90 on a close, and then it can run towards 58.50, full stop, new line. I don't think that's going to happen the way that the US market closed on Friday, full stop, new line. As you can see, the retracement in the XJO was up towards either 58.22 or 58.35, and if it fails from here, then you could be looking at 54.56, full stop, new line. XFJ.ASX, new line. Last week I was talking about a corrective rally towards 66.76, full stop, new line. 66.37 is also an important point, and a breakdown below 6,500 would signal that whoever bought the banks would be unhappy on Friday, full stop, new line. Its better target is 63.15. I think that it could go either way, seriously, with the banks right now, full stop, new line. So the important factor, Mark, is more the financials, because that's what's driving the 200, full stop, new line. ANZ.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, Colin. You can now see why people would be excited about ANZ when you look at the monthly chart. You can see that it touched the old top. So buying it with a stop below $31.65 is not a bad technical move, full stop, new line. The only issue is $35 is about the maximum target you would get on this rally before it rolls over back down to, say, $32.25, full stop, new line. So if you like the bank story, then wait down at $32.25 for ANZ.ASX to buy with a stop below $31.65, full stop, new line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. On the intermediate time frame, we see a jumble sale and really nothing to get too excited about until it gets above $33.80, full stop, new line. If you are long on this time frame, have a stop loss at $32.05, full stop, new line. Traders time frame, Colin. We see a rally towards equal ranges, and therefore we suspect that if it breaks down below $32.86 or even tags $33.82, then it's not that good. I'm going to lift that, not getting too excited until it gets above $33.80. I'll change that to $33.85. So on the traders time frame, if you do want to do some shorting, that is possible for a kiss and collapse down towards $31.53. Target, full stop, new line. CBA.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, Colin. Currently it can rally back up to $87 and then have a try down to $75.91 or $79, full stop, new line. Volume has been heavy on the down move this month. It would have been nicer for the bears to see it close below $83, full stop, new line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. We see a corrective flag to the upside, which means a breakdown below $82.65 starts you thinking about $80, full stop, new line. Traders time frame, Colin. We see an okay rally with an objective at $87 or $86.07. That got within about 25 cents of that on Friday. So a breakdown below $84.21 would be a little bit negative. Full stop, new line. So the banks, yes, they had good volume on the upside, but was that options volume that came in? Question mark. NAB.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, Colin. Certainly if it can close next month above $35.50, then it's a handy thing. But this month volume has been heavy. Full stop, new line. It has come back down into resistance, but back into support. But there's a big area at $30.16 and $31.59 that could be interesting for it as investors. As investors sell down their holdings to make a guaranteed profit. And that's around June 12th, according to Dan. Full stop, new line. Traders time frame, Colin. Yes, good volume. Can go back up to $35.36, but I'd prefer the $34.84 to $34.89 if this rally that happened on Friday is to continue. This looks more like an ABC rally to the top side for me. So you'd have your stop loss at $33.68. Full stop, new line. WBC.ASX, new line. Westpac. Investors time frame, Colin. Yes, it did come back down into the support at $31.58. It got to $31.92 and can go back up towards $34 to $35. Full stop, new line. Currently, I'm confused about it, and it's probably confused about it as well. Full stop, new line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. We see it tried to rally above the positive cloud, and a slip below $33 would start to make it look not so good either. Full stop, new line. But volume was good last week as well. And to the extent that that's options volume, then we can discount it. Full stop, new line. Traders time frame, we can see that it did a bit of a thumbtack and it didn't like being up in the higher levels, and a breakdown below $33.30 would be a negative event, looking for a retest of that low and possibly $31.58. Full stop, new line. XMJ.ASX, new line. Iron ore went up a little bit over the last couple of days, so there might be a little bit of help from some friends there. Full stop, new line. On the traders time frame, on the XMJ, it's going nowhere fast. Full stop, new line. And so at the moment, we rely on what goes on with the, and so on the, at the moment, we rely on what's going on with the other ones, full stop, new line. And in the US, the materials indexes, stocks did not have a great time, full stop, new line. BHP.ASX, new line. Rallied a little bit, but closed poorly, and the rally volume was not very good. Looking down to $43.31, full stop, new line. Nothing to give us a great excitement about, full stop, new line. Rio.as US, new line. Rio in the US, a little bit soggier close. Needs to get above this junk at $45.60 to be inspiring, full stop, new line. So all in all, not much to go on from the material space, full stop, new line. BHP.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, colon. On a closing price basis, it was another down month, full stop, new line. It hasn't broken the old support area, full stop, new line, but I do think that the next break of the old support area will cause a panic on the monthly charts, and the investors will start to question seriously why they've been holding on for the past 5 years onto BHP, full stop, new line. You all know my target. Would you like to recite it for me, full stop, new line? $19.81, full stop, new line. Intermediate time frame, colon. The upshot of the whole week was a positive movement of 34 cents, full stop, new line. Shorter term target, if it wants to keep on going, is to $27.87, and we get nervous about being a bear on a break above $30.05, full stop new line. This pattern is interesting. It smells like an ABC to the downside, which means that it's positive on a break above $31, full stop new line. Traders time frame, Colin. We can see high volume on no reason, so that's options volume, and a breakdown below $29.10 would be negative, full stop new line. Rio.asx new line. Investors time frame, Colin, continues its habit of not doing anything, full stop new line. If it closes the month this month at $55.90 or lower, then expect $46.43, full stop new line. Intermediate time frame, Colin, continues its slightly confused downtrend or downward bias. There is no downtrend, full stop new line. I don't know what to do with it. A break above $60 might be inspiring to the upside, and a break below $55 would be inspiring for $49.84, full stop new line. Traders time frame, Colin. On the traders time frame, we can see it's stuck right in the middle of the cloud. And again, I reiterate that need for a break either way. XEJ.ASX new line. The other day I was saying a rally towards 12,197 or 10,982 on the downside. You could take your pick, but I think the pick is now 12,197 and possibly 12,568 as the energy prices around the world went up last Friday. Full stop your line. Pick an energy stock. DLS.ASX. DLS.ASX new line. Investors time frame, Colin. It's had a target at $1.32. The rally currently has been corrective in nature, and maybe if it gets to $1.32 or $1.37 and you are long, you should bank the cash. I'd also say your stop loss should be at $1.13 if you're holding this for the longer term, full stop your line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. On the intermediate time frame, it's headbutting the cloud, and a slip below $1.16 would mean that it's fallen back down out of the negative cloud, full stop, new line. So you can have a stop loss there on a weekly basis, full stop, new line. Traders time frame, Colin. On the traders time frame, a breakdown below $1.17 would be negative. Volume is okay on the traders time frame, so just have your stop loss there, and you might hope for $1.30 or that little $1.32 area, full stop, new line. XGD.ASX, new line. Gold index, new line. I still don't get this index, why it's just flatlining. And I can't make up my mind as to whether they'll buy it today because it went up or sell it today because gold went up a little bit. Full stop, new line. Whatever it is, I don't think it's worthwhile. Buying when you're approaching the 30-week moving average or the 38.2% retracement if it wants to go higher, full stop, new line. I also don't understand why you'd want to buy a weak underlying commodity, full stop, new line. Pick a gold stock. SBM.ASX, new line. SBM.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, Colin. We can see the downtrend has been met, and unfortunately this month SBM had a lot of friends, but it didn't manage to close the month any better than half way through its range for the month, full stop, new line. Stop loss if long is at 26 cents on this investor's time frame, full stop, new line. Intermediate time frame, Colin, we can see what looks like to be a flag. So if it does break up above 50 cents, you buy it with a stop loss below 39 cents, targeting 66 cents, full stop, new line. So it does appear better than my opinion of it, full stop, new line. Traders time frame, Colin. On the traders time frame, we see 39 cents as the buying opportunity. And if you did buy it, your stop loss, or if you're going to buy it, your stop loss would be at 38 cents. And you would hope for a rally towards 49 cents or 52 cents. Above 53 cents, you can start to get interested in it. Full stop, new line. The current rally is not that strong though, so I'm not that keen on it on this time frame. Full stop, new line. PRU.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, Colin. 69 cents is a possibility. Stop loss would be at 35 cents. If you are long, full stop, new line. It's just gone long on the monthly, so I'll give it some benefit of the doubt. It would play catch up. It's not been as strong as SBM.ASX, new line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. Intermediate time frame, Colin. A pullback down to 42 cents or 43 cents would be normal, or even 40 cents, full stop, new line. If you're looking to buy there, you'd have your stop loss below 34 cents, full stop, new line. Traders time frame, Colin, we see a descending triangle and it gets a bit uglier below 41 cents, looking down towards 32 cents, full stop, new line. XHJ.ASX, new line. Sorry about my cold. Well, the healthcare index is now into the retracement area. If it breaks down from here, get negative for this, looking for 17,665 or 17,517, full stop, new line. Pick a healthcare stock. AHC.ASX. Investors time frame, Colin. It's nudged a little bit higher than the target I gave at $2.70 odd cents. And now you might think about $1.85, sorry, $3.80, sorry, $3.66. If you are long this, you can have your stop loss below $2.55 as an investor. Intermediate time frame, Colin. This has targets to $3.38. Your stop loss would be at $2.65 if you are long. Sorry, $2.60. Traders time frame, Colin. $2.90 is also a short-term target. If you are looking to buy dips, you would try down at $2.73 with a stop loss below $2.60. Full stop, new line. CSL.ASX, new line. This is on bear pause warnings. Full stop, new line. Investors time frame, Colin. We can see that on the investors time frame, yes, it survived the day, but no, it didn't manage to break a new high. So a close below $89.63 at the end of the month would be a negative event, looking down towards $76.37. Full stop, new line. Now, 1 month is a far away target. Full stop, new line. And as such, it's hard to get super negative on CSL. And I guess the best idea is if it closes the week below $87.70, then you get negative or get yourself stopped out. Full stop, your line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. We can see it rallying on decreasing volume, except for last week, which seemed to be options week. So have your stop loss at $91 if you are buying this, and hope that it breaks through $95.41 to continue to $100 plus. Full stop, your line. I'm cautious. I just think you should have your stops. It's okay to be long, but don't get too excited on the top side or too depressed if it breaks down, because it could do that. Full stop, your line. Everyone's recommending it, I suspect. Full stop, your line. Traders time frame, Colin. Traders time frame, Colin. This is the reason for my concern. It's the top edge of the cloud, and a breakdown below $92.90 would make it fall to either $91.19 or $89.09. Full stop, new line. Yes, that's options volatility volume. On Friday, and it has a bear pause warning. So if you're a short-term trader after a 5-wave structure to the upside, you could go short on this. Full stop, your line, and look for those levels. Your stop loss would just need to be above $94.10, full stop, new line. RHC.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, colon. RHC didn't really have that great a month. It had an outside month, but it closed close to where it closed the prior month, full stop, new line. Volume was higher, but it's still in a deceptive churning pattern, full stop, new line. I don't think it's going to happen easily, but you'd have to, your eyes get drawn towards being either at $43.07 or $50 in that zone if it is to have a good correction, full stop, new line. Intermediate time frame, colon. We can see that last week it popped its head up to a new high and then got slapped down, full stop, new line. It didn't really get slapped down enough to break last week's low, but if it breaks this week's low, last week's low at $63 or $63.50, we're looking down towards $60, full stop, new line. So if you're long, have your stop loss at $63, full stop, new line. Traders time frame, colon. I don't know what happened to Ramsey on Friday, but certainly the market didn't like something and volume was high. If that was options expiry volume, that would explain the high volume, but the direction is disturbing, full stop, new line. The target would be $59.47, full stop, new line. XPJ.ASX, new line. It's now make or break time for the property index. It either goes up big time or rolls over and goes down and tests 1200 or 1130, full stop, new line. It's come back into the retracement area, and I would suggest that you'd watch out for a break below 1280. Anything below that would signal further declines, full stop, new line. I think eventually Australia will copy the New Zealand model and make it harder for people to buy property that don't live here, full stop, new line. I think we need to do that at some stage just for our own pride, and also the fact that when somebody rocks up with a huge satellite dishes paying cash and a lot more money than anybody else wants to pay without haggling, you would think that would be suspicious, and that's happened in Newcastle Street. And you wonder what these people are actually doing here, full stop, new line. And then you see what they're doing in the South China Sea. You wonder how much. You wonder just how much control China wants to exert over the world, full stop, new line. Pick a property stock. And that may be why the Australian government doesn't mind having their money come in, but certainly Joe Hockey is trying to do something about it at the high end, which is the announcement effect, full stop, new line. Sarah said the Chinese have now moved to Mooloolaba, waterfront property with a reserve of 1.8, but was being haggled over by two Chinese bidders, went for 2.7 million. Full stop, Mulan. So they're pressing out into the regions now. In Lygon Street last night, there were a hell of a lot of empty shops and restaurants, and quite a few closed shops and restaurants that I saw. Full stop, Mulan. Cam saying people in the street are talking about it. Yep, there's just waves of them, and I really don't think they're spending their own money anymore. I think they're spending the government's money. GPT.ASX new line. GPT.ASX new line. GPT.ASX new line. Investors time frame. Colin. This has put itself short. It's still got a target at $4.98, so I'm not believing the short nature that it is. But if you were to going long, you would have your stop loss at $4.40. Full stop, new line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. You have your stop loss at $4.47 if you are long. If long, and your target at $5.05. Full stop, new line. And that's what one of the restaurateurs, we're talking at one of the restaurants with a guy who owns it. He said, you know, the Chinese don't come here and do anything. They just come in, they buy the property, and they leave. Maybe buy an ice cream or two on their way, and they're looking around the tours. But that's, you know, they don't eat the food. It's different culturally. Traders time frame, Colin. A bit of volume on the top side. A pullback down to $4.52 would be an okay buying event with a stop loss at $4.45. Full stop, new line. Somebody else put out a question and I deleted it. I'm sorry. If you could retype in that question for the property stock. Was it Dexus, DXS? I'm sorry, because there was a couple of statements that come through and I deleted them. DXS, thanks, Sarah. Sorry about that. DXS.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, Colin. Target $8.88. Stop loss $7.57. Full stop, new line. Traders time frame. Oh, sorry. Intermediate time frame, Colin. Target towards $8.40. Dips to buy down to $7.83 with a stop loss below $7.60. Full stop, new line. It does seem to be turning into something a bit more solid with the volume, etc. Full stop, new line. Traders time frame, again, $8.40 to $8.50 as a target. Full stop, new line. It is coming out of a low base ADX, so it might not be a bad thing to get on board. Full stop in your line. XSO.ASX, new line. It simply has not fallen down. You would run a stop loss at 22.36 on the downside if you were long. Full stop in your line. XTJ.ASX, new line. Could go up to 22.58, could go down to 21.63 or 21.10. Who knows? It's really just doing nothing. Full stop in your line. TPM.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, colon, unstoppable. Stop loss, if you want to stop it, would be, I guess, around here at $7.50. Intermediate time frame, colon, a little bit less unstoppable on the intermediate time frame, and maybe a pullback to $7.91 would be possible if it cracked $8.63. So that is where your stop loss should be. Full stop your line. Traders time frame, colon. On the traders time frame, we can see a nice retracement, and if it broke down below $8.80, you would start to think that it's got some issues. If it breaks above $9.25, then that's good. You could buy with a stop loss below $8.95. Full stop your line. Top 50 stocks questions, new line. AMC.ASX, new line. This is on bear pause warnings at the moment, long term. Full stop your line. Intermediate time frame, colon. Investors time frame, colon. Nothing very negative on this. If you are long, have your stop at $13.20. And you might have your dreams at $24.57. Full stop your line. Intermediate time frame, colon. If you are long here, have your stop at $13.84. You have your target at $15.07 or $16.02. Full stop your line. Traders time frame, Colin. It didn't like the old tops up there, so if you're long, have your stop here at $14.19. Again, the volume is curious, full stop, new line. MQG.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, it's not dead yet. Stop loss is at $72.63 if you are hanging in as an investor, full stop, new line. Intermediate time frame, Colin, forming up a triangle, so implies going higher. If you are buying this on a breakout above $82.70, your stop loss will be at $77.81, full stop, new line. Your target is the old targets we've mentioned before, I think $89 and $97, full stop, new line. Traders time frame, Colin, stop loss will be at $80.04 and target $87. Traders time frame, Colin. QBE.ASX, new line. Investors time frame. This ignored my warnings of last week. I still warn a bit about it, but you're probably thinking about $15.30 as a target now. Your stop loss if long on this time frame is $12.78 if you want a wide stop, full stop, your line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. On the intermediate time frame, we see stop loss is at $14 and hopes could be up as high as $16, full stop, new line. It is forming a struggle street pattern, so I still issue my warning, but it's not breaking down yet, full stop, new line. Traders time frame, Colin. On the traders time frame, we see $15 as a potential, and stop loss if long is at $14.40. Full stop, new line. WES.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, if it wants to ever get moving, target is $49.14, full stop, new line. If it wants to slip a few cogs, target would be $38.96 to $40.17 to the downside, full stop, new line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. Just as confused as it used to be. Needs to break above $45 to get exciting, or needs to break down below $43 to get depressing. Take your pick. Full stop your line. Traders time frame, it's simply doing Fibonacci ping pong, and a break either side of those Fibonacci ranges at $43 or at $45.10, then would be negative. Full stop my line. WOW.ASX, new line. There's no change to my view on the longer term. Still looking for $25.04, new line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. If you are short, have your stop loss above $28.70, and that might rally to $29.96. But generally, you would expect it to go lower on a breakdown below $27.40. Full stop your line. Traders time frame, Colin. On the traders time frame, we see nothing to get too excited about. More things to get depressed if it cracks through $27.60. Full stop your line. FMG.ASX, new line. And of course, we'll be covering this in the PHG trades later. Full stop your line. Investors time frame, Colin. On the investors time frame, we can see a rally towards $2.81 or $2.87, or $3.46 is possible. Full stop your line. Last month was virtually an inside month. It gave us not much information, and still the possibility is $1.69 or $3.46. Full stop your line. If you are long on this time frame, a good idea would be have a stop loss at $2.04, because the next time it's down there, it shouldn't be there. Full stop your line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. On the intermediate time frame, we see $3 or $2.87 as a possibility. With $1.64 as also a possibility, full stop, new line. It's a bit touch and go. What I would say is if it breaks $2.55, it'll get liberated for those higher targets, $2.87, full stop, new line. Traders time frame, Colin. On the traders time frame, if it breaks above $2.47, go with it with a stop loss below $2.30, hoping for $2.87. Full stop, new line. Small and mid-cap stocks questions, new line. MVF.ASX, new line. MVF.ASX, Monash IVF, new line. Investors time frame, Colin, still just rubbish, flapping around between $1.30 and $1.80, and it's right in the middle now, so I'm not that interested. Full stop, new line. May go down to $1.52. If you were long, you would have your stop loss at $1.47. Full stop, new line. Intermediate time frame, Colin. On the intermediate time frame, $1.70 would seem reasonable with a stop loss if you're buying this at $1.54. Full stop, new line. Traders time frame, Colin. On the traders time frame, it's broken out a little bit. Have your stop loss at $1.58 if you are going with it and hoping for $1.71. Full stop, new line. LOV.ASX, new line. Investors time frame, Colin. Still got good things and mention every target that I've had before. Refer to the past recordings. Intermediate time frame, colon. If this got a dip down to $2.95 or $2.99, it would be buy worthy with a stop loss at $2.20, hoping for $4.28, full stop, new line. Volume is constructive. Intermediate time frame, colon. Buy dips towards $2.99 or $2.96 with a stop loss below $2.90, stop close only, targeting $4.28, full stop, new line. Traders time frame, we can see this breaking up a little bit, and you could have your stop loss at $3.15. You can buy more on a break above $3.39, full stop, new line. Okay, so we're on to PHG Trades Review. AGL, we're looking to buy dips to $15.78. Don't think that happened. Nope. Oh, we did get in. Yes, we did. Okay. $15.78. So you may have been entered. I'll put in maybe. We'll put a question mark. It was 26th, 25th. If you were entered, your stop loss is now is $15.80. BHP, we are short on a short trade that's taking us nowhere. At the moment, it's not open. Short at 29.45 and 29.50, and stop is at 29.87, which I think could get stopped out. We'll leave that there. Wesfarmers, buy a break above 43.30. That hasn't happened, so we're going to leave that alone. BXB, Brambles, we're long on a break above 11.30, and stop is now 11.12, and we'll move it up to 11.15. It's not really that interesting, is it really, that one? CMW, Cromwell. We are long on a break of $1.11, and it's $1.06 stop loss. At the moment, so we're going to buy a break above $1.11, and that has not happened, so we are not in, even though the sign says it is. And Dulux, we are long, and we are not happy, I guess. We are long. Stop was at 570. Did we get took? No, we're not took. Going to move the stop up to 575. And we're entered on one dip to 580. And I'm not so happy with that one either. Okay, everyone, have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Talk to you soon. There's lots of things I've got to do now. Have a good one. See ya. I didn't see that, Jonathan. We're at the end. I've got to go. Once I'm doing the, are you saying that Mermaid Marine was a PHG trade? It is a PHG trade. Okay, can you send me those details? I actually, oh, okay. Oh, okay, got it. I can see. Sorry. Okay. FXL, we've still got more to go. The line finished, and I'm in a hurry, so I get nervous when that happens. FXL, Flexi Group, stop was at 352. Didn't quite get stopped out. There is a God still. Stop can be now moved to $3.53. FMG, we are long for a little bit, and stop can get now moved to $2.33 only. MRM, thanks for that, Jonathan. That was a good prompt. Mermaid Marine, we bought 65% now, and no break above, so we're only elected on half the position. It's now traded back down to 61 cents on high volume. So let's bring the stop up to 57 cents on half the position and hope that we get out, or at least it turns around. SGP, we're long, and it's just made the break. It's got to the first target that we understand, and stop loss is at 427 now. We're going to raise that to 429, and the price stop, that stop goes only in the price stop, will be 425 price. Okay. Thanks everyone. Have a good day. Cheers.